To the Jupiter podcast. I'm your host, Tom Franklin, and today we have on the amazing friend of mine. He's in another part of Mexico now, Mr. Moises Reynoso, and he's going to come on and talk to us about Mayan culture, Mayan myths, Mayan black magic, maybe some Mexican black magic. Maybe we'll get into a couple of his personal experiences that he's had himself. If you keep finding yourself coming back to the Jupiter podcast, please do me a favor, like and subscribe to the channel, like it on the way out today, guys. Leave a comment, and please do me a favor, if you're downloading over on Spotify, leave me a rating. That helps me out in the algorithm, so I can continue to keep coming forth and bringing you these amazing guests. You can also consider becoming a member on Night of Jupiter on YouTube and get some content early. I got some really cool stuff up there, guys. I got some amazing guests that I've had on. Really, some it's getting crazy, and I'm enjoying it very, very much. What else is on? T-shirts, everything is down at the bottom in the description. You can go ahead and get T-shirts. All my social medias are there. Go over on the Facebook group. We're really cool over there. We have a lot of fun. Go ahead and post your shows. Go ahead and talk about whatever you want to talk about, and we'll be very grateful that you come by. So, with all that out of the way, let's welcome to the show Mr. Moises Reynoso.
Hey, dude, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Well, hiding from the rain right now, but I'm great.
What part of Mexico are you in now?
This is Saltillo, Coahuila, like right under Texas.
What are you doing up there?
Well, they offered me a job. They offered me a job right here, so it's 3 months now that I've been living here, and it's great. I mean, it's totally different, man. I've never been like in the mountains, and there's it's great. It really is. Awesome. I mean, the weather is totally different. I've been hiking. It's 3 times now. I almost died once, but I will keep going. It's not as easy as it sounds.
Yeah, when you get what are you're pushing like 35, 36 by now, and now you're starting to feel like I felt when we met each other. And you're like, oh, okay, this old guy. Okay, now now that the shoe's on the other foot, we're gonna have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, no, it's different because there's a lot of young people there, and now it's like I'm the old man, so I'm doing my best not to die over there.
No worries. Do me a favor, man. Let everybody know a little bit about you. Introduce yourself, and tell us, a little bit about yourself and what and we'll get into your knowledge, your experiences about Mexican and Mayan culture.
Okay, got it. Well, my name is Moises. As you already said, I'm 36 years old. I'm living right now at Saltillo, Coahuila, in Mexico. I was living in Campeche a few months ago. That's where I met Tom. Um, I've grown. I grew over Yucatan and Campeche. There's a lot of similitudes there in the culture, like with the
Right.
Mayans. But most of the things I've learned it was in Merida in Yucatan. Even so, it's like almost the same. So I started reading and studying with a couple of people that knew a lot of things about a lot of stuff, and it was really great because we were reading about, I don't know, anything, and every time there was one person that has a lot of knowledge about whatever we were reading about, and they just started throwing all the knowledge, and I learned a lot. Even though I grew up there, I never heard or understood like what was going on. And I don't know, maybe we can start with stuff like when I was a kid.
Yeah, sure.
um when I was a kid, you can always hear about going into, I mean, it's not the woods over there, but like going into the woods or something like that. And there was a lot of it when I was a kid in Merida. Now it's a big city, but you when you listen to other people talking about it, you can hear stories about going into the woods and uh, like someone throwing rocks to you, or if you were doing something like wrong, like trying to get like trying to do some fire and stuff like that, or throwing your trash or something like that. There was something throwing rocks at you and bothering you in the woods and in the dark, and but there was nothing you can see, right? There's nothing you can see over there. And you heard a lot of stories like that all the time. People that bought maybe their house, whatever, and stuff kept disappearing or
Right.
moving from one place to another. And you heard all the time about this. It's called, or they are called, the alushes.
Yes.
So
I've
you
spoken
started
about them.
hearing,
I've spoken about them many
yeah,
times on the show, and I've had rocks thrown at me. I've heard voices in the forest. I've seen bluish white balls of, like, not balls, but like circles on walls of lights. And I've heard other stories working construction here about malvientos. And when you go into caves, that you get a crink in your neck. Some people have fevers. It's pretty wild, man, and that's why I wanted to contact you, because you actually have a little bit more of an inside view on these things.
yeah. Well, this it's like different things. But let's start, for example, with the alushes. There in the Mayan culture, there was this kind of magic. I don't know if you can call it black magic or white magic or just magic, but they used to make some rituals to bring stuff to life. Um, Most of the time, it was to take care of their family, or maybe uh, the things growing, like the trees or whatever they were cultivating on at home, right? So, for example, these things, the alushes,
Mhm.
they are known now only for bothering you. Some people started like offering food or water or even money, and some of them have been able to control them, maybe just like get them not to bother that much.
Hmm.
but that's it. The thing about these things, these beings, is that they were created to take care of something, family, maybe the house limits or whatever. And this was made with magic and rituals. This was made for 7 nights. I'm sorry, actually it was 7 weeks. It was a ritual, 7 weeks,
Oh, I
Friday
thought it was seven.
night.
Oh, wow. I thought it was 7 days, but it's 7 weeks. Thank you.
It's 7 weeks, Friday nights. And they used, I mean, there's no one that can tell exactly what it was used, but it's been said that they used food and some, I mean, obviously some chantings and also some blood. And this being made of clay, at some point after that, those 7 weeks, it just came to life. And it started doing what he was created to. So after that, I mean, maybe, well, especially there, well, Spanish came and people died, and but these beings, this energy kept there, was kept there. So now they have no function. They have nothing to do, but it's still alive. It's still got energy, but it's pointless. So
Right.
they are just in the limits that they were created to be, but no one to take care of, and they just
Oh,
I don't know how to say it. They got no
yeah.
there's no purpose for them now.
No tiene un proposal. Okay.
Yeah, no tiene propósito. There's no purpose for them now.
Right.
So there's some people that says that if you just perform some kind of ritual to call them and let them know that these people they were meant to take care of, they are no longer here. That's some way that this energy just can just go back to whatever
Wherever it came from.
it came from, right?
Right.
And just like this, for example, what you said about hearing things or seeing things, I mean, there's a difference between these created beings like the Alushes and like the likes or stuff like that. Because I believe, I mean, I've read about it and I believe that there's natural energies, natural beings that haven't
Hmm.
been created by anyone. They are just there, like from the woods, from the mountain, from the
Yeah, like
water,
the elementals or something like
like
this.
elementals or yeah, something
Mhm.
like that. So I think even it can even like combine if you're at the right place. Maybe you get this. I don't know if we can call it good luck or bad luck to be where all of them are combined, and you can see stuff and also receive this bad behavior from these beings living around. And basically, this magic was like kind of the same. They always used 7 weeks. It was most of the time Friday nights, because they used the power of the moon. Most of the
Wow.
rituals got blood involved, because that's what they provided. I mean, it's life, so they provided blood, so these beings could become to life. There's another
Hmm.
story
Hmm.
around. It's about the black ducks. It's
Oh yeah.
basically the same thing. People used to, and and they are not that way back. It's not that way back. People used to create this uh, dog shaped clay thing and perform the same
Yeah. Figura.
this
Figure.
same
A
thing.
figure. Hmm. A clay
Yeah, the
figure.
figure,
Hmm.
and perform this same thing like 7 weeks, Friday nights, and they just buried it like in a corner of your home, and people claim to be just walking there, and there are actual black dogs barking at you and keeping you away from the property.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been like really powerful. And what I've been reading and learning about it is that because there's something really powerful that's been used through time about magic, and it's the
That,
intention.
that they're being conjured with intention.
Yeah, that's right. It's always about the intention.
Yeah.
So when you start reading and learning about magic, I mean, in general magic, you can always find that it's all about the intention with big. I mean, you can call it big things like creating life, like the illusions or the black dogs, and also other small things like, for example, like it's, I mean, translated is like healers, but in Spanish they are called curanderas. It's
Curanderas. Yeah, it's kind of like a witch doctor.
some kind of like a witch doctor, a white
Yeah.
witch, a nature witch, or something like that. They use plants and roots and water, and they perform some kind of rituals at night and at day. And there's a lot of information about it, but everything they do, it's based on the intention.
Right. Right.
I mean, you can understand or get to understand how powerful intention is about everything, because they talk to you
Mhm.
when they made like for example, I remember now, um she gave me one of the of them gave me, I really don't remember what was it, but it was something made of plants that I needed to take for something that was going on at that moment. And she was giving it to me, and she stopped and she told me, "No, you need to pay for it. What? I mean, it doesn't matter how much, but you need to pay for it." And I was like, "What's the difference, right? Like, okay, but
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
Right.
how much? It doesn't matter. You need to pay for it, because if you don't pay for it, you're not going to value it enough, and it's not going to work. So
Oh
you need
wow.
to
Intention.
get intention and effort on it to believe in it, so it can start working on you."
I don't think people understand how big witchcraft is down in this part of the world in the Yucatan. I was recently I went to I think it's called Macanmul. It's a ruin close to Campeche, about a
Calakmul.
half hour away. No, not Calakmul. There's Hampalol, and then there's
Okay, got
Betania,
it. Okay.
and it's up that it's yeah. And there was an old church up there we went to, and there was actually, I believe, because I am not an anthropologist, actually human bones in the floor that you can see underneath the altar. And then on the wall, I didn't videotape it. On the way out, I seen an upside down pentagram. And that was the first time that I've ever seen a sign of witchcraft here. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get up out of here. But it's a big thing down in this part of the world, isn't it? For people in the north or in Europe or whoever's listening to this, witchcraft is a huge part of the culture down here, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and actually, I mean, it is. I mean, but there's a lot of people that think it's like an easy thing to do, and that you can now watch TikTok or YouTube and start performing some kind of ritual by yourself, like just getting uh, whatever it
Mm.
says. I don't know, and there's a lot of people playing with that, you know, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason there's a lot of bad stuff
Yeah,
going
that's
on.
crazy.
Right, yeah, man. And just like that place you visited, there's a lot of places.
Okay, I love that.
There's a lot of places around Campeche and Yucatan where you can go, and you can find stuff like those you said you saw it, right? Human bones
Yeah.
and chicken feathers and animal blood, and I don't know, a lot of stuff of people. You can never know if it was something with knowledge or not, but definitely there was someone playing there with stuff maybe they don't really know about. And
Yes.
Yep, and that's, as you said, in the Mayan culture, it was something day to day. For example, there's a something like misunderstood, like what history tried to tell us about the Mayans, about they having a lot of gods, like they having the god of the rain, and the god of the fire, and the god of the sun and the
Uh-huh.
moon. But there's
Right,
a
polytheism.
misunderstanding. Yeah, but there's a misunderstanding there when they translated the Popol Vuh. It's like the sacred Mayan book, the only thing we got left from them. And when it was translated, they translated it like they were worshiping gods. When it was actually like they were thanking the energies because they believed in energy. So if I was going to get my um I mean the el maíz, the corn, if I would get
Uh-huh.
some corn grown at my garden, I was going to ask and thank the sun and the rain and the moon also, because they believe in moon season to plant the seeds. But they were using thinking and using the energies of everything they believe got power over whatever they were trying to do. It was not like worshiping gods. So
Oh.
there's a misunderstanding about it. And when you start thinking about like this other way, you start comprehending that they used all this energy to whatever they were trying to do day by day. So right now, when you go and try to learn and understand about these days witchcraft, like curanderas, and there's a name
Brujeria.
for the males also, the brujeria, the witchcraft that it's used right now. They live day by day using and thinking the energies, and it sounds also kind of dumb, because when I was trying to understand this witch told me once that every step we take, everything we do, it needs to be um, you need to thank for that, and you need to intend whatever you are trying to do. And I was trying to understand because it sounded dumb, but she told me it. Yeah, man, because she told me just listen. She told me you just woke up and you just open your eyes, and what is it that you do first? We grabbed the phone, we started scrolling. You just go into Facebook and you start reading your messages, and suddenly you're just up and you got a shower, whatever. So she told me the way they are learning to live is like the first thing to do when you open your eyes is, well, to be grateful. And
Yes.
it's not like with God or with a God or with an specific God, because they believe in that energy, so, or in those energies. So it's like it doesn't matter who. Now I'm awake and it's a new day, and thank you. It doesn't matter who. And
Right.
that's the part where I tell you it started to sound dumb for me, but it's because it's not easy to. And then she told me, you just okay, you're up and you're going to take a shower. It doesn't matter if it's at home, at a hotel, or whatever. You need to be under that water, intending that water falling on your body to clean your body and your thoughts and your energy. So you need to be intending your shower. And then when you're going to
Interesting.
get your first glass of water, you need to intend it to go into your body and provide you with those minerals the body needs, and to stay there. And then when it goes off your body, to take away everything you don't need. I don't know if I'm making myself, like, you need to do this with everything, and that's what they do. They started eating and they just thank for that food, and they intended to go in and provide you with everything you need, and they do this with everything. And I was like, I don't know about it, but it's true. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do, but I started doing it sometime because you can't forget about it as easy as it sounds to start doing it. And suddenly it's been 2 or 3 days a week and you just stop doing it, right? But it's true, and you can start feeling a change in almost everything you do. But that's the point of what we were talking about in the beginning, the intention of whatever you are doing. Because we
Right.
cannot, maybe it's not the food, maybe it's not the moon or the sun or the weather, but it's that now that water going into you, it's in, now you have intended it and you're thinking that it's going in and it's going to help you with something and it's going to provide you with minerals, and it goes back to the the main thought, the main thinking, that it's what I believe about the power of the brain. So I
Yeah. And
think
speak. Yeah, I think we can do a lot of things that we just don't do, or that we're unaware of, or that we're more powerful than we think we are. Um, and we're going back to the intention thing. I was trying to like rationalize why someone would spray paint an upside down pentagram on the wall. Now, people don't understand how poor, on average, people here in the Yucatan are. They're not just going to go out and buy a can of spray paint. That's extremely expensive for people down here who are living hand to mouth. So for someone to do that was an awful lot of attention to do that. It's in the middle of nowhere and it's off the beaten path. For someone to do that, that is not like, oh, they just happen to have spray paint with them. They went and bought spray paint, or it's not just a thing that you just do to do because it's funny to do. That was intentionally that way.
yeah, and I mean, it's kind of sad because there's a lot of people, as we just said, there's a lot of people like playing with that, with things they don't understand, because there's sadly a lot of people taking advantage and scamming people that had those kind of needs, because most of the time people that tries to fix whatever they think is wrong on their life with magic or witchcraft is because they're desperate. It's desperate
Right.
people. So they go to whoever they heard about, it's a good magician or whatever, and there's a lot of people scamming those kind of people that charge you a lot of money, and they just give you a list with stuff that you need to buy and do. And that's what I meant when I told you that there's a lot of people playing with that without knowing anything about it, but someone just charged them some money and gave them a list and told them you need to buy this and do this, uh, whatever in that place. And it's kind of sad if you think about it, because it's people getting advantage of desperate people that actually got troubles or
Yes. Yeah,
whatever,
and it's like where most religious people will find their way into the church or the congregation and go and ask and pray for forgiveness. There, a lot of people now are like, if they're not Christian, they're looking for some type of power or influence in other directions and other places. And if you go into
You're right.
something like magic, if you go into magic, it's you and you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna have a lot of issues, I believe.
Yeah, it can happen, and that's, I mean, because most of them, like you said, they go into whatever religion they find, and well, most of the time it's that you need to go and pray and assist to the meetings and whatever, but that's not fixing my issue. So I need to go
Right.
into something harder, into something more powerful, into something deeper, and that's where they just jump into.
They mess up. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
mess up.
So
Yeah.
yeah, man. it's quite crazy. You do see a lot of that. I mean, if you're going to do it, you need to study for a long time, and you definitely need to come in with right intentions. I've had people come up to me and they're like, "Hey, I can do this for you," and I'm like, "No, I'm good, man. I don't know anything about that stuff. It's too much for me, and I'm going to be just fine where I am." So let's turn the conversation to some of your personal, how would you say, some of the things that you've witnessed or experienced in your life that just it just scared the hell out of you or made you realize something. Because I remember having you on like 2 years ago on the old show, and even back then I was like, what? I know a little bit more about some of these things now, but I don't think the audience, especially the new audience, has heard it yet. So do me a favor and let's get into some of that.
Okay, got it. Well, starting with this because we are talking
Excuse
about
me.
it. Starting with this because we are talking about it. About not knowing what you are doing or what you are getting into. I remember this time a few years ago where there was like this meeting with actually these people I was studying and learning and doing conversations every
Okay.
from time to time, and there was this like planet show where each of us were going to perform whatever we were doing. And in that time, I was into like chiropractor. I don't know how to. It's chiropractor, right?
I
So
think
I
they
was
chiropractic, maybe chiropractic. I think
okay,
that's how you say that.
chiropractic.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So I
Definitivo.
was into
Definitivo.
that, and I was going to like to set my table and start like showing off and whatever. And each of us was going to do that with whatever we were learning about, right? So that day I showed off late, and I didn't knew at that time that before they started, this same witch I told you about, that is the one that um, teach me a lot of stuff, different stuff. She performed some like protection for all of the people there, right? Some protection ritual because we were going to exchange energies and a lot of things, right?
Right.
So there was a protection made, but I showed off after that. So I just went in, I started showing off, and I started like I went with this one and the other one, and there was one lady that was learning about the cards, tarot. Is
Tarot.
there a
Tarot. Tarot.
tarot? Okay, got it.
Tarot. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she was learning about it, and she was showing off with that. So she invited me. I uh, I mean, I refused at the beginning. I kept going and everything, but there was a point in the night she was alone. Nobody was like coming to her. Now I think I know why. But I, I sat there and I said, "Okay, let's get going, right?" And it was really fast because that thing, the tarot is something like you need to be really specific. Uh, I I think it can work. I mean, I don't believe that much on it, but I know there are energies and things and entities and whatever that can help you to do stuff that maybe, well, it doesn't matter. So you need to be really specific about what you are looking for. So you need to do ask questions and start digging into whatever you're looking for, because the answers you receive are brief, right? And if
Right.
you need like the question for a specific problem, you need to be really specific. So I just sat there and she told me to ask something about anything going on my mind. I just asked about my future. She told me like a whole non-specific things like you need to take care of your health and yourself and blah 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 blah. Any other question? No. Okay. Thank you. And that was it.
Wow.
So we kept going,
Okay.
whatever. And that same night, I remember we ended like around noon, like around 12, and I went home. So I was home. I got home, I got my dinner, and I took a shower and went to bed. That night, I was trying to sleep, but I wasn't able to. I was like rolling and rolling and rolling, and
Uh-huh. Hmm.
but I was refusing to wake up because there was something I needed to do at the next day. So I needed to go to bed, right? But there was some point, I don't know how much time it passed. So there was a point of the night when I just said, "Okay, this can't be happening." And I got my okay. I forgot to told you that all that time I was like with the sheets over my face,
Oh
and
wow.
I
Okay.
was rolling and everything, but the sheet always over my face. So when I said, I know I need to go to the bathroom or have some water or whatever, so I could try to go to sleep, I just got the sheets down my face, and there was this black figure, human shaped
Wow.
figure. Like, I mean, I was laid on the bed, you know, and this figure was like sitting on the bed, like on my feet, looking up, forward. So I was like looking to
Oh, at the back
the
of its head.
back
Hmm.
of his head, right? But it was, I mean, it was a human figure, right? But it was all black. It was like a
Right.
shape. And with the little knowledge I got, it was like, nope. I just got the sheets over my head again, and I need to go to sleep. I need to sleep. I need to sleep. I need to sleep. And I don't know. I got to sleep in some point that night. The next morning, I went to talk to the witch, and I told her what happened. And she was like, "No way! I performed this like protection." And that's when where I told her, right, I was late. Maybe it was before I arrived, and she told me that it could happen that night. Also, it was how do you said that? It was ec- it's an equinox.
Equinox.
Equinox. That's right. So it was a very powerful night,
Okay.
energy speaking.
Right.
So she gave me some water, and she was talking to me, and all this time it's like, if you think about it, something like, I think it's beautiful, man, because all the time we were talking, she was, we go back to the intention, she was talking to me, but she was intending to help me out with the issue I was having. So she was looking at me, and she looked at me from, I mean, feet to head, and she was just like doing some stuff. After we ended talking, she told me not to worry about it. She performed some kind of ritual while we were talking, and now I was protected, right? And she told me also, let this be like some kind of general knowledge, that it doesn't matter what kind of beings we can get to see. The thing, if we don't have enough knowledge to deal with them, is just not to go on with that, not to call them, not to ask what is it you want, why are you here. I mean, I don't care what you are or why you're here. I'm
Uh-huh.
just going to bed, and because it's like an invitation. If we
Right.
start talking to them, if we start asking questions, it's like an invitation. So if it's just there and we start opening that door, it can go really wrong. So it was
Right.
like the
Which is why you should never play around with a Ouija board, because you do not know what's on the other side of that door. I don't even get close to them. I it's just one of those
that's a
things,
really
man.
bad idea.
Really.
Yeah, that's one of those things that I don't want to try. Never. So I respect whoever want to play with that, and but no, not me.
Yes, sir.
So it was something like uh, talking about this playing with energies and magic without knowing what you uh what's with that, right? Because it was something so innocent, like just sitting with someone to get some card reading. It was 3 or 4 minutes, that went into something that I don't know, but it could maybe went off really wrong.
Right, right.
So playing with this, I mean, it's something that needs to be
Avoided,
that you need to
avoided.
think. Yeah, it
Yeah,
needs to be avoided.
yeah.
And maybe something else. I think we talked about it last time. Another experience that I never knew why or how or what happened, but it was pretty weird. And I rarely talk about it because it gives me the chills. But we talked about that dream. You remember?
Right.
It
I was hoping
was
you would get. I was kind of hoping you'd get into it, but I want to be honest with you. You're in a good place here, dude. I got good. Don't worry about it. I know how dramatic it was for you, or traumatic, better said. And just whatever it is that you want to share, go ahead and share it. If you don't want to, it's also fine. But since you brought it up,
yeah, no, I mean, it still gives me the chills, but it's
yeah,
not
man.
like it's not like that bad right now. Maybe
And you were living with people here know Sarah. You were living with Sarah at the time too. You guys
yeah,
were roommates. Yeah, so she
yeah,
knows
we
about it.
were. Yeah, we were. And also, I think that right now, I don't know, maybe I could react like different. I don't know, maybe I would be double scared. I don't know, but it was.
Double scared.
I'm just hoping it never happens again, because
I do
dude, it
too.
was something. It really was something. So I'm just going to start with. It was I think there was nothing that night like the other night. It was just any other night that I went to bed and I was just sleeping, and I started having this weird dream since the beginning, because it's those kind of dreams that you actually know you're in a dream and you are
Okay.
realizing you're into a dream, but you are just going with the flow. So I was laying on bed into that dream. As I remember, I was into this room with my family. I remember one of my brothers being on my side, maybe one of my cousins at the other side, just like looking at the ceiling. And there was this is an important part. I was laying at the bed like this, and just in front of me, on the wall in front of me, there was this window, this like a window, but it was I don't know how to say it. It was delgada, like thick, like
It was thin.
it
Delgado
was
is thin.
really thin, but large window.
So it
Not
was
like a.
long. It was
It
very
was
long,
long and
but
really
it wasn't
thin. Yeah,
tall. But it wasn't tall. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't like any other window. It was like a thin and really long window, right? So it was right in front of me, and I was looking. You could see. I remember I could see like the sky and the moon and whatever, because it was at night on into that dream. So I started hearing my older brother and my mother like talking one to each other, or more like yelling one to each other, like if they were on separate rooms and they were like yelling
Okay.
one to each other.
So they were yelling at each other. It seemed like they were yelling at each other from separate rooms. That's what you could hear.
That's right, because I could
Okay.
hear like my brother's voice from one side and like my mother's voice from other side,
Hmm.
like yelling. Even I mean, it wasn't even like fighting. They were just saying stuff, yelling from one place to other. Funny stuff. It's something pretty common in my family. Like, I'm not going where you are to tell you. I'm going to yell it for you. So I
That's
was
not
just
just
there.
your family. That's every family. That's every family in Mexico. That's not just your
Oh,
family.
now
You in
now
every
you
there's
know.
like every
Now you know.
house has a woman with a scratchy voice. Like there's a woman with a scratchy voice that yells. Is like the mother. always yelling at somebody. I'm like, what are you yelling? And it could be nice too. Oh, I love you, baby. You have a nice day. It's like, why are you
But
yelling?
it's yeah, it's really funny because they are yelling, and maybe you don't know who she's yelling to,
At,
but
yeah.
we recognize. I mean, I
Yes.
can recognize when it's to me, so it doesn't matter if he didn't mention my name. I know it's for me, and
It's a certain
it
tone.
happens in every Mexican family. Yeah, it's Mexican
Yes.
culture. That's right. So I was laying on the bed, watching. I mean, looking at that wall, that window, and suddenly there was this window again, and I started seeing something going in through that window. The thing is that, again, it was a pretty thin window, so something started going in. It was like an arm maybe first,
Oh, like
and
from the
then
outside. From the outside,
see,
you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah, from the outside of the room. I
Hmm.
mean, from the outside of the house, it was going
Okay.
into the house. So it was like one arm first, and maybe one leg. The thing is that I realized suddenly that it was some kind of being or entity. It was totally black, like shadow, like a shadow, and it has this big face. I mean, no, it was nothing on the face but two wide, big eyes all over the large face. There's also an image that I saw about a movie. I don't remember the movie now, but maybe I can pin it after into the video. Um, so it was this being like with long arms and long legs. It was not walking; it was like crawling with hands and with arms and legs because there were no hands, and this big face. And I realized when that thing went into the room that that thing was the one speaking with my brother's voice, yelling to my mother at the other room. Because when it was in front of me, I could see that thing using my brother's voice and yelling to my mother, answering whatever she was saying. So this thing went into the room and starting like avoiding, because I remember there were a lot of beds, so maybe it was a lot of people in there, and this thing was like avoiding the beds, like trying not to walk nobody, just like being careful. And I was near the door, and when this thing was passing through me, I mean in front of me, uh, I think intentionally, or I don't know, but I I asked like, what are you? And why are you using my brother's voice? Maybe I'm lying to you. I really don't remember what my question was, but I asked something like what the hell, what's going on? And this thing turned to me. He was looking at me, and that's when the hardest part began, because I remember this thing, even though it was a big creature or entity or whatever. It started like thinning its arm or whatever it was there, and started reaching to me. And I remember that like both arms going near to me, to my face, and one of them like grabbing my head, and the other one trying to get into me, like through my mouth. So that's the point where I started trying to scream, and there's this bizarre image where I can remember seeing my dream on on this side, and this thing trying to get into me, and I was trying to scream, and at the same time I was looking at my couple at that time. She was lying next to me on the bed, and she was grabbing me. I don't know, maybe from my t-shirt or my shoulders or whatever, and she was shaking me, but I couldn't hear her. I could see her mouth like screaming to me, like trying to wake me up. And at the same time, I could still see the other thing trying to get into my mouth, and I wasn't able to react or scream or whatever. And suddenly, like, I just walk, and I was screaming, and I was sweating, and I was shaking, and now the dream image went off, and now I was at my room. And well, my partner was really scared and asking questions, what happened, what was going on, whatever. And I couldn't even speak because I was scared as hell. I was shaking, and I just wanted to check the room, and I don't know, it was like adrenaline or maybe something like that. And it's something that I try to explain and try to talk about with people around that had that kind of knowledge, even the witch and other witches and other. Uh, in Spanish, they are called the male witches or healers are called uh, chaman. I don't know if shaman in English. So I've talked about it, trying to understand what was going on, and there was a lot of different things they said to me. I mean, starting with maybe you saw something and your brain was like really active and you started creating this stuff. There was other there were other people saying that that's something that happened, something real, and maybe some kind of entity trying to get into me or just passing through, but I just reacted. That's what we were talking about before, not reacting to that kind of stuff. So I reacted, and it just went or trying to get into me or whatever. Maybe it's there and it's hiding somewhere. And and but nobody could tell me like really what happened. They just told me like it's a good thing, nothing else happened. You could wake up and you're here and whatever. But there's no, I couldn't get the explanation I was looking for about what was that, what happened, or why. But it was a really creepy experience. Um,
This
that
happened in that one place when I first met Sarah that you were living kind of near San Roman, that house, right?
Yeah, it happened there, and there's something funny
Okay.
about that place because I don't know if you remember or if you talk about it, but uh, Sarah used to talk a lot about things happening to her in that house.
Yes.
Also, like a lot of bugs, like cockroaches and bugs and scorpions and a lot of things going on around her. But
Yeah.
inside the same house. I mean, we were in separate rooms, but it was the same house.
Right. Right.
S- So we thought, or we talk about it, and we thought that maybe there was something going on with that house. It was one. It was actually one of the reasons lot of reasons that we decided to move out from there.
Oh, to the other one, yes, the one up on the hill. Hmm.
Yeah, uh, but I mean, I couldn't get an explanation, but it could be something going on in that house. It was an old
Uh-huh.
house. We never knew who was living there before. I mean, that's also some dangerous stuff, just getting to live in somewhere you don't know what was happening before.
Yeah, but
it
that's
could,
every place that you move into. I mean, you can move on the land here and run into a Lucius or could you before you get up out of here, I want to know your like because I always kind of beat around the bush and say what I know about it, but I would like to get it directly from a person who's born here, the culture. Could you tell me what is the Ishtabai? Could you tell me the story behind that before you leave?
yeah, I really don't know much about it. I never got deep into it, but there's this story. It's from Yucatan, actually.
Mm-hmm.
There's this story of this woman that passed away. Uh, Actually, there's a couple of different versions of what happened,
Okay.
but the thing is that there was like uh, something like a love triangle there, and the boyfriend or husband or her beloved one was the one involved in her death. There are different versions, but that's basically it. She died. She suicided her. She suicided. She hung
Yeah,
from a tree. She
yeah,
hung
she also
herself from a tree.
yeah.
Okay, so the
It's
thing is
YouTube. You
that,
can't say that word.
oh,
Don't worry about it. It's kind of I think I covered it up and accents. We're good. We're good. Everyone knows what we're
okay.
talking about.
There's a lot of words I try to avoid, but I never thought about
Yes,
that
no
one.
worries, my friend. No worries. You're doing great. Everyone's loving you in
Okay.
the chat, dude. People are saying this is people are really I don't know if you can see the chat
I
on your
don't know.
screen
I,
there
I
because
don't
you
think
have you're
so.
so far away from your phone. But people are saying this is an incredible interview, and they're really enjoying it. Yeah, you're being humble. Okay, fair enough.
Thank you. Whenever you want, I can come back. I
Yeah,
mean, we can also
it's
create our own show, people. We can
yeah,
also create our own
we can talk
show.
about
Just trying.
anything.
Okay, so well, after what I said that I shouldn't. Uh, well, the thing is that this woman is said to be seen again. It's not the woods, but like kind of the woods over. It's like the jungle, right? It's not woods. It's like the jungle, right? In
Yeah,
Yucatan and Campeche,
the
it's more
selva.
La Selva is more like the jungle.
Yeah,
It's not the
jungle.
wood, but you can go sometimes, and it's most seen by hunters and people like getting into the jungle, like trying to hunting, fishing, camping, whatever. But it's also been seen like on the highways, or even people claim to saw her anytime, like outside their houses or whatever. But it seems, I mean, it's said that it's a very beautiful woman, and her power is to be enchanting men.
Yeah.
So when you see her, she starts like flirting on you and calling you. I don't know if we can explain it, but there's um these clothes that woman used to wear at Yucatan, the piles. It's like kind of a dress, but not
Uh-huh.
like body shaped. It's just like flat,
Oh,
and
the
it's,
white dresses with the
yeah, the
flowers
white
on the
dresses.
front here.
That's right.
Yes,
But
yes.
the flowers over it is like something new. They used to be just white and flat. So people that claim to saw her, they say it's a really beautiful woman with a really like spectacular body that you can see through her dress,
Okay.
and she's
So
like
she's
combing
wearing
her.
so she's
Uh-huh,
wearing a traditional Mayan dress.
that's correct.
Okay.
And it's kind of, I mean, it's white, but they say you can like kind of see through the dress, so you can actually see her body.
Okay.
And she's like always like playing with her hair, or combing her hair, or something like that. And she starts calling you and flirting with you. And I mean, obviously, no one can talk about what happens when you go with her. But the thing is that now that you said I cannot say that word, I know how to say it. But the thing is that
She
there.
unlifed herself. She unlifed herself.
Okay, so the thing is that there were men found in the jungle, like hanging from a tree
Okay.
with no
Wow.
explanation. And that's what she supposedly do when she called you and got you into her and into the jungle. That's the way she, well, finished with the life of the person that follows her, right?
Right, right. And she also, as far as I know, likes to talk to borrachos, like
Yeah,
the drunks,
like drunk
the
men.
drunks,
Yeah,
and she'll offer them like beer and offer them to do certain thing to follow her, and then next thing you know, bye bye.
yeah. And also,
Yeah, it's kind of
there's this funny thing I'm kind of remembering right now, that it's like on a specific tree. It's on a
uh-huh.
specific tree that um it's like all spiky.
¿Cómo se llama este árbol?
Uh Damn.
I don't know. There's many spiky trees, so you have to be a
Yeah,
little
no.
more specific. You walk through the if you walk through the jungle here without a comb, you will get your hair brushed. I promise
Oh,
you.
it's called Saba. It's Saba tree.
Seba. Okay.
Saba tree.
Hmm.
And this was actually like a sacred kind of sacred tree to the Mayans, because it's something that only grows right there in the jungle in Yucatan. I'm not sure if also in Campeche, but we need to remember that Yucatan was all the. I mean, it was all Yucatan,
Right.
so semantics, right? But it's on the area. It only grows on the area,
Yes.
and it's on this specific tree that's really spiky. So there's this thing about this tree, because the story of Dishtabai is, it's like a love story, so it's the woman and her beloved one, and there's a lot of different stories of what happened. So it's this tree that if you touch it, if you I don't know, if you pass through and you get spiked or something, whatever, it started it starts like a rash over your body, over your skin. And
Oh,
there's this.
oh, you're talking about what's it called? What's the Mayan word for it again? There's a red one that takes the rash off, and then there's the black one
And
that puts
there's
it
the
on
other
you.
one,
And
that's right.
what do they
And
call those trees, man? It's important. Oh,
the first one is the Seiba, and the other one is, let me search for it in 1 second.
in English, it's called the black. It's called the black. It's called the black. Oh man, they have it in Florida too. It's the black poison wood, the black poison wood. But in Spanish, it's in Mayan, it's called the. Oh my
Chechen.
god, I can't believe I can't think of it. Chichen Chaka. Chichen is the
Yeah,
bad one, and Chaka is the good one. And
Chaka,
if you
that's
get
right.
this rash, guys, it will put you. If you're sensitive to things like that, it will put you in the hospital after 2 weeks. It will knock you. It'll tear you up. It's you take poison sumac, poison ivy, and poison oak. Put those together, and then you'll get the chin chin or the black poison wood. It's crazy.
But
Look
the
it up,
thing is
guys.
that they're always supposed to be together. I mean, there's
And
one
they
here
grow
and
together.
there's always the other one. Yeah, they grow
Yeah,
together, and that's something amazing.
that's so cool.
Yeah,
I don't
so
have any
that's basically
chin on my property. I don't have any chin, but I do have a ton of chaka, a bunch of the red ones. And when it rains and it gets real windy, they break very easily because they're not a very strong tree.
okay. Maybe that happened to the other ones also, because they are supposed to always be growing together. Maybe
Maybe I
they
got
just
lucky.
fell. Maybe you got lucky. Let's just say you got lucky. And
Yeah,
I mean that's basically the story of the Shtabai.
Ishtabai.
There's a lot of different versions of the way she passed away and the reason. But basically, what happens now when you see her is that she started like enchanting you and trying to
Yes, we
make
have
you.
stories. We have stories of that too in the Appalachian Mountains, where
Wow,
I
that's
mean, yeah, Appalachian Mountains are also very
yeah,
because it's such an old mountain range, and there's stories of like children being called into the woods by witches and they disappear. It's very common,
yeah,
and also very large birds. If they
yeah.
show up, be careful, dude. Sirens of the seas. Thank you, Coffee Stain Mug. Welcome to the show. Never seen you here before. Please, hopefully, I get your subscription today. It's been incredible, man. Your English has gotten a little better, man, and my Spanish has gotten a hell of a lot better. Trust me.
I'm pretty sure about it. I'm pretty sure about it. And there's actually another story that maybe we can talk about other day, right
Yeah.
here, because I'm starting to learn about Coahuila history, and there's
Okay.
one that I really like that it's called La 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 Puerta del Infierno. That
Okay.
it's the gate
The
to
door to
hell,
hell. The door to
the
hell
door
or
to
gate to
hell,
hell. Uh-huh.
and the eye of the demon or something like that. And it's briefly like a story of there's a cave over here somewhere that is used for
Oh.
rituals with very powerful people. So maybe we can talk about it in
Oh yeah, and we
another
also
time.
we can talk about the Zona de Silencia.
Okay, I don't know much about it yet,
Look it
but
up.
I will.
It's close to
I
where
will.
you are. It's close to where you are. If you're in
Yeah, I
northern
know.
Mexico,
I've
it's
heard about it,
the
but I
zone of
haven't.
silence. Yeah, look into it, dude. And it's been so long since we caught up. You were running a little late, so I literally started the show, and as the show was running, you popped up, and I was like, you could see me in the green room. I'm like, we're good, we're good. And it's good catching up. It's good seeing that you're doing well, man. I'm doing a little better. I'm starting to be a tutor in English, so that's starting to work for me. And
Oh, sounds
yeah, man,
great.
yeah, dude, yeah, it's just life has been fun. I'm getting good support on the show. I'm getting amazing guests like yourself and others, and yeah, we'll do it again sometime. We'll figure out something. We'll write down a little situation and what we want to talk about. That way, we get a little more knowledgeable in it and teach people who have never been to Mexico, who don't know much about the culture, about the oddities, the combination of Catholicism and death is weird for me. Like towns like Pomuch and like
Wow, yeah.
I went to my first Mexican cemetery the other day, and there's a little spot here in the corner. Let's put some concrete there, and
I saw
we'll make
that
it
video.
work.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, you
amazing.
seen the video? Yeah, dude, it's
Yeah, I did.
incredible. It scared the hell out of me too. And you can like kind of smell death in there. It's a little funky.
Yeah, it is. Well, I'm looking forward. I'll be learning some more stuff around here, and
Oh,
I'm
that'd be
sure I'll
cool.
have a lot of more information for you all next time.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for coming on, and we'll stay in touch, okay, buddy?
Yeah, for sure. Maybe we can catch up after that.
Yes. Yeah,
Thank you
you
for
can
inviting me.
wait in the green room. Yeah, wait in the green room if you'd like. If not, you're busy, you can go too. If not, we'll keep writing each other. No big deal. And change your profile
Got it.
picture. That's not you anymore. That's not you anymore.
Oh no, it's not. It's not. I
You
will.
don't look like that.
I'm waiting for the. I'm waiting for the right one. I'm waiting for the correct
Okay.
one. So,
All
but I
right,
will.
fair
I
enough.
really will.
All right. I remember,
All
guys.
right,
We
then.
are the eye. We are aware. Love you all and have a wonderful weekend.